Well, hey there, it's Catherine Pooler, licensed designer with Sizzix. Have you seen our new Hanging Ornament Box Die? It is made to coordinate with the 12 Days of Christmas stamp set, the Framelits, and the folk number dies. You're going to be able to make tags, cards, boxes, ornaments, and an advent calendar. Here's an example of an ornament. So we have the little dies that cut the holes in the top to thread your string through. Here is another one. How cute is this? This one has our folk tree stencil on the back. And then we also created it so you can make a gift box. So just leave the flaps open on the one tab and you have a little box. What are you going to put inside? Here are a few decorated with the 12 Days of Christmas so you can see how to do an advent calendar. So let's take a look at how to put this together and how to decorate it. The die set includes 12 dies, so there are several that create the box. You're going to have two pieces. One is long and one is a hexagon. So these pieces, you're going to cut 2 of each. Then we have the snowflake die, which coordinates with our white Christmas stamp set and framelits, hollies and berries, and then the holes for the box. If you want to make it a hanging ornament, you're going to take this extra piece, line it up on your long strip, and die cut it. We also have several extra hexagons that nest one on top of the other for layering and decorating your box. You can also use these on cards, scrapbook pages, etc. Okay, so I have 2 strips. That's going to be along the outside of, the outside of the box, and then I have the 2 body pieces basically. So the first thing you're going to do is fold all of the scored places. So the dies are going to cut and they are going to score. So all the score lines need to be folded because that's where, you know, the box shape is made. I also really love how we included photos of the steps for putting the box together on the inside of the packaging for the dies. So it's right there at your fingertips. But also be sure to bookmark this video so you can come back to it later. So just folding all of those sides, and then the adhesive that you use is up to you. Usually I use liquid glue. You can also use some really sticky tape. I like the liquid glue because there's a little bit of wiggle room there. So when you're putting it together, if you use really sticky tape, once you put 2 pieces together, they're going to stick and they're not going to come apart. So if you mess up, there's no forgiveness there. So the liquid glue, you're going to have a little wiggle room as it dries. So hopefully I can explain this okay, but visually you can see what I'm doing here. So I'm taking the long strip and I'm lining the edges up with the edges of my hexagon, and I'm adhering the tab to the body of the box. And then I'm just going around making each corner line up with the corner of the hexagon. As you do each section, just make sure the corners are lining up together and the fold of your tab is flat with the edge of the long strip. If all those things are lined up, your box is going to be put together beautifully. The first 2 or 3 boxes I made were okay, but I definitely have gotten better as I've made more. I'm gaining confidence and I'm really loving how my boxes are coming out now. Crisp folds, lined up corners, and lined up sides, and you should be successful. Getting those corners lined up with each other is really, really important. And that can be one of the drawbacks to using liquid glue, because when you put it together, you have to hold it for a minute or a couple seconds while that glue dries. If you use sticky tape, it's going to just stick. But then if you put it in the wrong place and you don't do it right, then you're stuck. So leave me a comment. Let me know which one you're going for, the glue or the sticky tape. Another pro tip for you, do the string first before you assemble the top to the box. If you assemble it first, it's going to be a little tricky to get in there and do the string. We'll add the top to the box, and this is what it's going to look like as an ornament. I am going to fancy up the front just a bit before we assemble though. So I die cut the outer piece with the tabs in a gray cardstock. The front of the box is in this light blue, and I'm going to die cut the large hexagon straight through that piece. This creates a window into the box, and then I want to frame. So I'm die cutting the small hexagon through the gray. I'm going to cut off the tabs. I'm also trimming a little bit off of each side so that the gray piece is just a little bit smaller than the blue, and there will be no extra added bulk in there between the layers. And then I'm going to layer these two pieces together. Now when I layered them, I noticed that I was a little off, so it's not exactly centered. I'm not worried about it in this instance. It's going to look cute anyway when I get all of the other pieces onto the box, and I don't think it'll really be noticed. Before adding the top, I'm just folding these tabs over and making sure they're nice and creased. Before adhering the box top, we're going to decorate it. Basically here we're making a diorama hanging ornament, and for the first piece of the decoration part for this box or ornament, I'm taking the smaller hexagon die. I sent that through our Yuletide 3D embossing folder. It's part of this collection. So I'm adding foam tape to this layer, and it's going to add dimension and texture and interest to the inside of the ornament. The ornament die set includes a large snowflake. It coordinates with the art style from our white Christmas stamp set and coordinating framelits. So then used together, these are going to be seamless. They're going to complement each other and just finish off your project. I die cut some of these snowflakes, and we'll see how we're going to use them on this project. I wanted to do some holly. So at first I wasn't really sure what I was going to do, so I just started playing with a few of the die cut holly. So this is die cut out of watercolor cardstock, and then I'm using the Catherine Pooler ink refills and my Sizzix multimedia mat. I'm wetting my paintbrush and then dabbing it into the well of ink, and then I'm just dropping color into the various parts of my die cut. The first layer of color I added was Matcha, which is light shade of green from our Spa line of inks. They're muted, more sophisticated colors, and I wasn't able to get some spots dark enough to give a variation of shading, so I went one shade darker and I grabbed my Sage ink refill and added some shading with that darker green there. Now that I've colored all of the greenery with Matcha and Sage, it's time to let that dry. Once it's completely dry, it's time to add red for the berries. And take it from me, learned from my mistakes. I added too much water here, and then the red started bleeding into the green. So go more light-handed than I did. I really got that wet, and it just started soaking down the stems and didn't quite come out the way I wanted. But I hope this gives you inspiration. You can see a really beautiful way to use this if you do a little bit better job than I did. So I took a detour from the watercolored holly and berries and decided that I wanted them to be metallic. But before we check them out in metallic, look at how cute this box is shaping up. I love the snowflake with the ballet slippers hanging from the center of the snowflake. Those are from the 12 Days of Christmas stamp set and coordinating framelits. I got out some of my metallic inks. We have gold, silver, platinum, champagne, rose gold, and I thought these would look really beautiful in platinum. Achieving platinum holly is very easy, but a little bit messy. So I'm just taking the holly die cuts, dabbing them onto my ink pad, patting them, maybe kind of lightly rubbing them across the ink pad until they're fully coated. And Now I've got it all over my fingers, but I find it pretty easy to get off with a paper towel. You could just wash with soap and water. And then when you use your ink pads this way, you're pulling a lot of that ink out of the pad, so you're going to need to refresh your pad. So we have ink refills for all of our ink colors, including our metallic line. So you're just going to squeeze that bottle. This ink is a pigment ink. It's heavy and it's thick, kind of like a paint. And you got to really give that bottle a squeeze to get that ink out. And then just rub it across your pad gently so you don't tear it. And then to improve permanence and so that none of this metallic shine rubs off, just take a fixative or some kind of sealer and spray it over your pieces. So now I have these platinum holly and berries, and I'm going to set those aside and start working on my snowflakes. Now I can add these to my project in plain white and they're beautiful, or I could add some shimmer and shine. So I'm using Wow embossing powder here, and I could use white, I could use clear. Halo is a favorite of mine. It's just basically a clear glitter. There's also some puffy ones like white puff. So I'm taking my mixed media brush, which is it's like a little nail polish brush in embossing fluid. I'm just painting it onto the snowflake. It gives me a nice thick coating of embossing ink. Pouring on my embossing powder and then heat setting. A powder like this that's white or a clear or a glitter, sometimes it's a little bit hard to see when it's embossed, so I just like to turn it in the light and I watch for that powder to turn from a powdery look to a shiny look, and that's when I know it's done. The 9th day of Christmas is 9 ladies dancing, so I have the ballet shoes. And Eva, my youngest daughter, just hung up her ballet shoes last year, and so we consulted her on the design of these point shoes, and happy to say that they are Eva approved. To add some color on the inside of the diorama box, I'm doing Skylight for the 9, so just a quick swipe on scratch paper, and I'll die cut that out. And the small details in the numbers are fun to punch out and just have whatever background color is behind them, or you can inlay them back in. So you could do a contrasting color or even do a metallic. And then we'll add one of these snowflakes onto the 9, and then the 9 will be adhered to the inside of the box. What's Christmas without all the bling? So let's bring in some sequins. I'm using Catherine Pooler Designs Saint Cloud Sequin Mix. It's a light blue mix with some clear and white sequins in there, lots of shimmer and shine. And I'll just add one to the center of the snowflake and a couple around the edges. And then it's time to start decorating the window piece of the diorama. So I'm adhering some of the foliage to the inside and peeking out onto the front. I'm going to add a few snowflakes. I'm tucking the foliage in under the snowflake, arranging it in an eye-pleasing way. So for assembling the box together, the final step is adding the top on. So I just added my liquid adhesive to the flaps. I folded them down. I put the box together, and then I find it easiest if I take some kind of long instrument, maybe a bone folder or a pen, and put it inside the box and kind of press my hand on the outside of the box against the inside of the box where I have the bone folder, if that makes sense. And then I'm kind of pressing it together as that glue dries. And here, because the top is open, I'm able to just press the box between my fingers, and just like I'm doing right here. And if you need to use your tweezers to help get the flaps in the right places, that's really helpful as well. And now here is the part where the ballet slippers are on there incorrectly. I was able to pull them off, reposition them, and all's good. Adding a couple more sequins, and that does it for this diorama ornament. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video and you learned a lot and you are excited to try the Hanging Ornament Box. Will you make a gift box, an ornament? Will you use it to make tags and cards? Or what about an advent calendar? Leave a comment below and let us know how you're going to use it. And be sure to tag Catherine Pooler Designs and Sizzix if you share your projects online, and also subscribe to the channels. You will be able to find these products worldwide, as well as on the Sizzix website and the Catherine Pooler Designs website. Thank you so much for watching. See you again very soon.